So right now in this video, I'm coaching a Plat player in my Discord, link in the description. I skipped the first 2 rounds because he didn't actually do anything wrong that I could harp on. So we're going to go into the 3rd round right here. First of all, what I do want to point out is you're spawning lakeside as the hard breacher. If you are the hard breacher, you want to be spawning where your teammates are on the left right there because you're getting the K9 wall open, right? Unless you're not doing that, but you should be, especially because Diffuse is on that side and you have a Monty. Like you're definitely going to be going and, you know, killing that. Also, you didn't take your time to aim there. If you would have definitely killed him. So next time, just take your time. He didn't see you at all. When people spawn peek from this window, they're not spawn peeking the helipad. They're spawn peeking people who are walking past the game's window in the like 1st floor lower area here. Because not many people like you go up on helipad. So he's not looking there, I guarantee. So you could have killed him. Let's scroll through here though. Monty got a kill. That's cool. Going into library as ace is really weird. Again, you need to be on the side where your teammates are, right? You need to get the wall open. That's what you should be doing right now. You have a Ying, Monty, and Callie that are all like trying to put an execute down. So that hard breach is going to be very useful for them. Yeah, like right now they're executing and you're still clearing library. Like the bomb's planted, go. Yeah, next time just get close to the wall because that's going to happen. Okay, you know no one's going to be down here, right? So there was no reason to even look down there. You know he's on the door, so next time I wouldn't do that. You see you're getting spotted by this BP, so you know that's how he knew you were there and he shot you from the doorway. So now what I would do, you have a Ying that can watch if he swings again, so just watch the left and make sure that when he rotates back to safety, you can kill him. You're not gonna, yeah, no. And then you win the round, cool. Yeah, I just, the number one mistake here is you're not pushing where your team is, and your team was executing. I saw in rounds 1 and 2, like y'all were smoke planting and getting the bomb down, which by the way is very hard to do in this meta. But when you have a 5-stack versus people who are solo queued and roaming a bunch, like look at this, bombs down, right? Let's look at the 2nd round, I guarantee you bombs down. Yeah, bombs down, right? So like y'all are getting the bomb down and you're playing with your team these first 2 rounds, so you know that's what's working. Just keep doing it because people in this elo are not good enough to change their entire playstyle around what you're doing. So there was no reason to go library. I understand library control is important, especially like if you don't want them taking mez and shooting your hard breach off, but you need to get one of your teammates to do that instead. Especially if you're yinging into the site, they're gonna run back to site. They're not gonna be there. So let's go into round 4. You're playing Thorn. One thing I wanted to talk about is this right here. You're asking your Frost or your Doc to use their shotguns to open holes. You have a 50 cal SMG right here that can open up holes just as well, so there's no reason that you should be wasting time asking them for it, especially if they're just not doing it and they're saying no, right? So that's one thing. I even know you have that mindset throughout your entire games that if your plan isn't working or there's a better way to go about something, you just keep sticking to your plan. Like you're a little stubborn, if that makes sense. I'm not trying to offend you, but that's just how your mindset is, right? So even in a slight case example like this where your Frost isn't doing it, your Doc isn't doing it, just take the initiative and do it yourself. Or again, the library example, right? Your team has the bomb down. They have site control. They don't need that wall open anymore. So like continuing to push library and not holding an angle, maybe, you know, holding mez, holding library, making sure they can't flank blue. You just stick to the same plan no matter what your team is doing. And that's not a good thing to have in your mindset. So let's take another example. Also, I noticed that this entire clip, you were DMing me this too, that your team is really toxic. I would get a new team. I really would. Especially because like I spectate your teammates as well. They're not good enough for you to be holding on to them. Like, look, already dead. And they're being toxic. Like, bro, just get a new team. Not really anything I can harp on until we get to the actual action phase. So 3v5, what you need to do is get off of cameras first of all, because you have 2 dead teammates. You need to get aggressive. Whenever you're down in man count, in any situation on defense at all, you need to get aggressive to even out that man count. Otherwise, you're going to get swarmed. And I know that's a fact because that's what ends up happening this round. If you would have swung a guy in this window, or maybe swung and ran it on the glass in the balcony, or swung display and killed the guy in display hall, I think you definitely would have won the round here, just to kind of even it out. But now look, they're calling you in Dokkaebi, you hear someone on the right, they're opening the wall, the door's open here, there's a guy in display hall, they're about to swarm you. So now it's going to be a 2v5, right? So you need to get aggressive before they just walk in for free. Look, dead, like just like I said, right? That would have been a perfect time to swing. You have a Razor Bloom. They're not worried about you swinging, but like always swing off of your Razor Blooms. You needed to get aggressive there. I think he ends up hitting an Elamine, and then a Glaz swings you that you don't hear because you're concussed, right? Yeah. So like I said, because you didn't get aggressive and you were stubborn and you held your ground like I was talking about, you didn't change your plan, you didn't adapt, you lost the round, right? So you need to stop sticking to one plan and you need to be able to adapt, especially as a support player, bro. Like you're playing Thermite this round. You're playing Thermite this round too, and then you're playing Ace this round. Like, you need to be able to adapt. You need to be able to adapt. Because you're like the backbone of the entire team, right? So you need to be able to change the flow of the round for your team so that they can rely on you and what you're doing to finish off and execute the round, right? So that's kind of on you. And then you get a cool kill there, that's cool. Let's go into the 4th round though. There is some stuff I want to talk about here. First of all, you put the rotate on the wrong side of this wall. You put it there. This is excusable in all cases except for when you have a Mira, because what the Mira's gonna do is she's gonna put her Mira on the wall right here to the right, and she needs to be able to swing off of her Mira, so she's gonna put a rotate right here, which is, you know, what she's doing right now, right? So other than that, let's talk about the actual mute setup. So with mute, having a jammer on this wall and the wall to the right is really, really good, because people push back sight whenever the Cade does a successful trick, which is what your Cade ends up doing here, but your actual mute placements are not good. This mute placement right here, this is terrible because they can just shoot this from the door easily. What you want to do is put it on the left wall instead. People don't even open the right wall right here. They open the left wall because it gives them an angle from all the way in big garage into all the way into connector and through sight and through the rotate, right? No one opens up the right wall because there's an entire like pillar and barrels blocking it from being able to see anything. So you want to put this on the left, not only because it's the wrong wall, but because it can be shot from the doorway. And then I would also put a mute jammer on the right side of that doorway so they can't even drone up to the door. And then you just play your shotgun on the door and you swing anybody because they don't have info, right? This is a good mute jammer. They can shoot it from blue stairs. So what I like to do instead is honestly put it on the top of the staircase, especially because like people are gonna end up like roaming right here anyways. They'll be able to protect your mute jammer and you'll get the sound cue of, hey, they just broke my mute jammer. Now I know they're there, right? So I like using risky mute jammers that I know are going to get shot just for that reason, because this is useless. Look, his drone was able to drive right by it. It didn't do anything. You end up taking it away because you realize like it can be shot from the stairs. Even here, it can be shot from the stairs. It doesn't matter. And then let's look at the one that you're putting down right here. So golden rule here, you never want to be putting down utility, especially as a 3 armor and as mute, whenever it's like 2 minutes and 30 seconds. So you have like 15 seconds of them, you know, still getting a spawn, still droning. No reason to put a mute jammer here other than the drone hole. So, I mean, you know, good on you. I guess you're blocking the drone hole, right? And then your last mute jammer, where do you put it? Right here. This is terrible because they're just going to be able to drone down the stairs and they're going to be able to drone through the drone hole anyways, right? So this doesn't actually do anything. What it does do is it blocks anybody trying to plant behind this trash can from using abilities. So if you have a Lion or a Dokkaebi trying to plant here and then they use their utility, they can't use it because they're in a mute jammer. So I suppose that's like the only thing that it actually does, but this is a pretty bad mute jammer. You do end up fixing it or just walking away in general, but then there's this mistake right here. So 2 minutes 20 seconds, they're on the wall thermiting the wall. If they were any good and this wasn't like mid to low elo, they would be shooting you and grenading you right now, especially because they know that this ADS is like EMP'd from the Thatcher. They're gonna nade you, or they're gonna try to nade the Cade that's Cade tricking, right? So this is not a safe place to be at all. I don't know why they're not shooting you through the feet holes. They hear you through this little drone hole, putting mute jammers up and down, right? So you should be dead. If you were going against better players, this would be a fatal mistake. So just keep that in mind. And then for a large portion of this round afterward, what I noticed too is you don't know what to do because you're sitting inside. And that's the one thing that sucks about playing support. When I played comp, I hated playing support because for the first minute and a half, I would just be sitting in sight doing nothing. And I would just be like on cams or whatever because they have to clear all my roamers out at first, right? So what you need to do as support is just be on cams. That's the only thing you really can do early game, other than like, you know, if you're playing Cade and your Cade tricking this wall or whatever. There's certain exceptions to that rule, I guess you could say. But holding an angle on blue stairs, not gonna do anything, first of all, because you have a Legion top blue who would have called out if anybody was on blue. And if he's a random, I don't actually know, then he would have been in a gunfight, right? So there's no reason to be quick peeking the shooting. It doesn't really mean anything. What you can do is you can either hold trench side or you can hold main stairs. Those are your two options. What I would do though, is you have people that can hold main stairs. You have this guy on trench, you have a guy on blue, just get on cams. That's what you need to be doing. You have a BP right here that you can be shooting drones with. So you have options, right? You definitely have options as to doing stuff. Now you're on cams. And see, because you were on cams, you get to call it that, like, hey, there's 2 guys on main stairs, right? Prime example of why you have to be on cams. Now you're peeking man. Don't ever hold an angle like this, first of all. If you're going to hold an angle, which I don't ever recommend in this game, hold it tighter. Right now, you see all this space in between the door frame and your crosshair. You want your crosshair to be on the door frame, because what you're doing is you're allowing them to see your shoulder before you see them. Also, even if you are holding an angle, which is, again, why I don't like holding angles in the first place, if they're good, what they're going to do is they're going to quick peek you, see you're there, change whatever level they are, like crouching or standing, and then pre-fire you, so you're going to die. So I don't like holding angles. What you were doing, quick peeking blue, is what you should be doing, like almost always. And then let's see what happens. Prepping C4. Okay, so they're above, like they're playing vert, so you know main stairs. Yeah, okay, cool. You got the main stairs kill. You have a Legion upstairs, so you shouldn't have to worry about blue. He just got a kill. Yeah, so you shouldn't have to worry about blue too hard. Yeah. You get new teammates, dog. That's all I gotta say. What is he? Okay, hold on. I want to break this down. Minute 30, right? Half of the round is gone. 5v3. Your Legion knows that they're getting wall open and hitting sight. Why is he in library right now? What is he doing?
Blue stairs.
Yeah, you shouldn't have peeked that. You knew they were there. You knew they were pressuring you. Wide swinging was a terrible idea, because what they're going to do is they're just going to hold the angle, right? Or they're going to quick peek you, and you're going to die. So I think you need to understand the power of getting quick peeked, first of all, so that you don't make mistakes like that. But also, you need to start quick peeking more. Instead of wide swinging like that, you could have just quick peeked, pre-fired, or anything except for wide swinging there. Like, you know how to quick peek. You have the mechanics to do it. What is your Mira do? What is your Legion doing? Bro, this is crazy. Okay, this is the last round that you do end up winning the game. That is pretty much it for the entire video, though. Really just like having a plan in mind and not sticking to stuff that you know isn't going to work and help your team is your main issue. You're a very stubborn player. It happens to the best of us. I'm not trying to like get on your ass, but you're a very stubborn player, so you need to work on being flexible, especially as a support player. Also, you need to work on positioning and game sense, because you don't have the positioning or game sense to know to not have wide swung blue stairs there, right? And then just learning rotates and stuff like that for that Mira setup. Just really small stuff. You're not actually too bad of a player. I think you definitely deserve a higher rank than you currently have right now. But with that out of the way, that is it for the coaching video. If you're not the person I'm coaching and you want to be coached, join the Discord server down below and send me a video. I will coach you for absolutely free. Again, my name is Alka. Like the video down below, sub the channel down below as well, and I'll see you in the next video. Later.